A DDoS cyber attack occurs when hackers take over electronic devices, which they then use to overload a DNS network. So, what is the solution for solving the problem? During the Prohibition era, it was estimated that Nebraska had around 800 saloons, 300 of which were in Omaha alone. The Omaha Children's Museum started back in 1976. At that time, it was only a traveling museum, being located on a bandwagon. It came to its current location here in the 1990s.
UNO's College of Information Science and Technology on Scott campus is making sure that computer science students take into account every recent cyber attack. Professor Bill Mahoney remarked how a distributed denial of service attack is not difficult to cause.
The hackers out there in the world know I can go search for this particular brand of device. I can determine which of those devices have not changed the default passwords. I can log into those devices and launch the denial of service attacks automatically.
A DDoS cyber attack occurs when hackers take over electronic devices, which they then use to overload a DNS network. So, what is the solution for solving the problem?
So it's really a question of, right, do you have resilience built into your own architectures? Do you have sort of fallback domain name servers that you can go to when this particular service is out?
The classes that are focusing on this cyber attack are web service and mobile development. From a 2016 McAfee Labs threat report, DDoS attacks are making up 16% of the top 7 network cyber attacks. For the Omaha News, I'm Chris Little. The Omaha Children's Museum annually gets 300,000 visitors that has risen in recent years. The museum hopes to continue to increase that number with recent renovations done to the farm exhibit.
It was actually a yellow farmhouse, and it was constructed about 10 years ago when we remodeled the Imagination Playground. And this fall was when we decided to redesign it and reimagine it as a barn.
The Omaha Children's Museum started back in 1976. At that time, it was only a traveling museum, being located on a bandwagon. It came to its current location here in the 1990s.
With that barn and the grain elevator, there's 2 levels to it. And I really wanted to make sure that both levels were integral into the activities that were happening.
The new exhibit will have more hands-on activities for children. An example is that when completed, children will be able to pick grain from the crops and then move it up the conveyor belt on the grain elevator. The exhibit will reopen on November 21st. For the Omaha News, I'm Chris Little.
The Dodge pedestrian bridge is nearing its 50th birthday in 2018. Residents along Dodge Street and Omaha City Council came together this year in order to help with renovations to the bridge.
The Dodge pedestrian bridge was constructed in 1968 to help pedestrians cross Dodge Street on their way to school and Memorial Park. After nearly 50 years, though, the bridge is in need of repair. Omaha City Councilman Pete Festerson noticed and decided to work with a group called Friends of the Bridge.
So I grew up in the neighborhood, and I've always been involved with the bridge since I was a little kid, walking over it myself, so always had a strong attachment to it. And also recognized that it was becoming dated and had some renovation issues to address. And about that same time, the Friends of the Bridge was in contact with me.
Bids put the repair cost at $300,000.
We organized into a grassroots organization, and we called ourselves Friends of the Bridge so that we could have a structure in place to begin a grassroots fundraising operation.
The City Council agreed to pay half, while Friends of the Bridge would pay the other $150,000 through private donations. The private fund drive started in March and was completed by August. The repairs will start on July 5th, and the bridge will reopen before the start of school. The group hopes to have a celebration for the bridge's 50th birthday sometime after that, and hopes to raise additional funds to put in a historical interpretive sign. The bridge received an award from the American Institute of Steel Construction in 1969.
For more information about Friends of the Bridge, go to their website at dodgestreetoverpass.org.